Hey all, Battleblood here. So, Honda 1997, I mean, I probably butchered his name too, but over on YouTube he's asked for a gameplay video of and an explanation behind it for Cardmon. So, what I've got here is a mage tank in a way. As you can see, he's got a shield and a wand, and that's one of the few classes. And classes are kind of defined by what weapon you carry. So if you're carrying a bow, you're most likely a ranged and dexterity type. But for me, I'm more of, let me open up my stat window. I'm more of a tanker here, so I have a lot of mana and health, and some buffs to my magic power. So this is basically just a summon your cards kind of game. If I right click any of these, I'll be able to summon cards, or monsters at least. And how you obtain these are actually through killing certain kinds of monsters or crafting them in a way. You're given a recipe like this one right here, so, and you have to gather all these different objects and then combine them together to make a new card. Sometimes they're really hard to get, especially on the boss type ones. So for example, this Chaos Witch one that I'm looking for, that's a pretty difficult one to snag so far. So, I mean, I'm gonna have to work on that a little bit later, but right now I'm also working on another one. I need to snag a recipe from this dude, this Ark Taurus. And so I know I'm just jumping into, I'm jumping past the basics right here, but I'll explain a little bit more as I'm fighting this. But this is basically like a dungeon. It's usually called a bulletin board, and let's see, you can change the difficulty that you fight them in, and usually the harder it is, the better the rewards. And usually 3 stars is the highest you can start, but if you do that enough times, you should be able to advance it to 4 stars, which technically is a party based instance. So it's basically the same objectives throughout the whatever difficulty that you choose, but it gets, I mean, monsters are given more health, more armor, and are basically buffed in the harder version. So I'm going to go ahead and do 3 stars to have a better chance of getting a recipe. And then depending on how well you do, they'll grade you at the end. You know, how fast you kill, how much damage did you do. They'll give you a grade at the end. So I've done this before. I have to basically run through a minefield, so I can't really summon anything early on, but the good news is I don't have to fight anything early on either. The thing is, the boss battle at least is very, very tedious and long. So I'm gonna go ahead, and all these dark wisps are actually mines, and I can't outrun them, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to get hit by all of them. So here we go. Put my HP regen on because it's gonna hurt. I mean, they're not doing that much damage, but collectively, as you can see, I'm already getting close to half health. They have quite some range on them too. Okay, now that's taken care of. So usually it's just to mess with players, I guess, when and basically each instance is very unique compared to one another. So this one basically says you can't summon any minions until you get over to the boss. Most of the time they do have enemies that fight you, and you have to fight your way through to the boss, but this one is a breeze basically. So I'm gonna go ahead, and this guy loves to do a lot of magic damage, a lot of area damage, and when he gets hurt at certain intervals, when his health drops at certain intervals, he starts to summon minions, and you have to take out the minions, otherwise they start collecting and they're doing more damage as a group. So killing them off as soon as possible is the best way. So he's got 100,000 health right here. I'm a mage type with a bunch of nukes, and my time's reeling down here, but that's okay. So I'm gonna take out monsters that can stun him, because sometimes he likes to jump in the air and actually body slam everything. So I'm gonna take out all the cards all the type of cards that have stunning abilities.
You do not have enough summon slots.
I don't have summon slots. Alright. This is my little healer that's going to sit in the back and try to take care of me. And I'm ordering all my units. As you can see, these 4 buttons down here, QERT, that's what you use to order your minions in a way. I can either have them retreat. See, as he's flying in the air and he does body slam, he takes some damage. My healer's going to try to keep him up, but he's out doing damage obviously, so I'm going to use this little skill down here, chain hanging. As you can see, he's starting to stall a little bit, hesitate. When he jumps in the air, now he's stunned again. Minions come out to summon Dark Gargoyles. So I'm going to take these guys out. Using the tab button to change units without having to click. I'm ordering all of my minions, hey, take these guys out first, worry about the boss later. And then the unique thing about some of these guys in my group right here is that they have area stuns. They have a chance to area stun, so every hit they do, whenever you see this blue thing, I'm doing my huge nuke right here. I get to zap someone 4 times in a row. So as my summons are dying, I'm resummoning new ones, and they do require werewolves. Those hurt a lot. Kill them right away. But as you can see, there's a limit to how many minions you can have out at a time, obviously. And the bosses like run over to a spawn point, which is fine. It'll give me some time to recuperate. Oh, another one. But as you can see, each minion of mine has a cooldown time, and they require something called Arc Stones, which are basically these, and they require the yellow ones. So I always try to carry as many as possible. That way I can keep resummoning without limit. If you look at the cards, they all require a level. They take up a number of summon slots, which is like a population. So you can't just have everything lying out there. Werewolves again. Hate the werewolves. Little bunny, or it's a fox or something. Great healer. Summoning all my stun monsters out again. I love the tarantula. It has a chance to force stun enemies, or stun 4 enemies. I'll go back to the top. Try to slow his attack range. And on the right here are my own skills that you learn at different intervals. You can upgrade them too. So level 3 stun shot requires level 30, but you can get the skill as early as 5 or so. Sneaker probably doesn't last as long. So it's all about watching your population up here, watching your buffs, watching your own health. You don't really necessarily have to care about your minions unless, you know, you have a tank or a boss. So usually you're just spawning units over and over. Try not to die, obviously. More gargoyles. Try to get them off my back. Hear that ringing? That's Twitter. So I'm kind of luring the minions back here, so then they don't take damage from the boss, and I can get some free heals in, and then we can rush back in for the boss. So some of them do tend to follow, so got my Dark Knight out here, the Dark Leader, he's down. But he increases damage. Got my Witch right here, she's a nuker, heavy damage. Really good for crowd control. She can nuke and almost halfway there. These battles do take a while, and they're also timed, as you can see. So you just can't can't keep kiting forever. Gargoyles again. Use provocation. Provoke. Let's put aggro on my little tank right there. He's a stone guy. He's a lava dude. One of my favorites. Too bad he's an elemental type, and there's actually distinct advantages and disadvantages within the game. For example, humans have an advantage over nature, which is ironic on a symbolic basis, but it really depends, I guess. Whereas nature has an advantage over spirits, and spirits have an advantage over human types. But those aren't the only three types, those are just the three core types, I would say. Those are the ones greatly represented. But within each type, there's also a subtype. So within humans, you can have humans, which are just, they stand on 2 feet most of the time. Amphipods. Or not amphipods. Bipeds, and then you have mounts, which are basically anything that's riding, well, basically on a mount. And so this guy right here, he's a demon type or devil type. This game has some typos in here because it's translated from, I think, Korean. I think that's where that came from, Korea.
You cannot use this yet. You cannot use this yet. You cannot use this yet. You cannot use this.
And so I need nature types because devils are a subtype of spirits. Uh-oh. I need to bring in my healers again. And my stunners.
You cannot use this yet.
There's a lot of activity, and it takes, not all the fights are this crazy. As you notice, I'm at level 38 right here, and I think the max is, 80, if I'm not mistaken. So, bring out my stunners again. Tarantula also does damage over time with his poison. That's cool. Oh, I thought you got it in perma-stun. Look at that. Oh, nice. Yes. Perma-stun. Chain stun in a way. See? It's not even moved for a while. So it's not always successful. They can always, there's a passive block in here. Like stun block in it. Minions are dropping, so again, got to keep my population as full as possible for optimal fighting. Almost there.
You cannot use this yet.
Tank. So, but I'm summoning all types. Regardless of what he hits harder, as long as their special effects come in handy for me, then I'll use it. So I got my tank out right here. So, oh, and he's almost dead. When he's getting to about quarter health or so, I won't care too much about the minions. I just want to end the fight as fast as possible. Especially when I know I just need to summon everything right here. Keep hits all over him. instead of the minions. There we go. Sweet. Got a symbol card. I think that's more of like a kind of like a bragging rights thing. So as you can see, I did not finish it in time, but usually you do want to fight with teammates, and it's not just completely all about soloing. But that's okay. Since right now I don't have any friends online at the moment. But that's my grade, and so based upon your grade, you get a number of keys that you can unlock. You know, these random chests, and it's kind of like a gamble on which chest to open, but it's okay. Yeah, sometimes you can get nothing at all, and there are special items in here that'll help you. This one right here is what I needed, the recipe, so I could start building that guy. What he does is allow me to knock down other opponents, which is kind of like a stun almost, except it's easier to chain a knockdown with a stun than a stun with a stun, because if you stun something that's already stunned, basically it negates the effect, it doesn't stack. But if you stun something that's been knocked down, I believe that it prolongs that duration. I think during the knockdown period, they are not able to cast anything or attack, so it's almost like a stun. So so anyways, there you have it. That's the boss battle against Ark Taurus. I might be doing that again just for the recipe, and so as you can see, you can do it as many times as you want, from, you know, supposedly a max level of 99, but I think that just means infinity. So anyways, thanks for watching, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you learned a little something from it, and hope it interests you. So you can always add me. There's only one server that's open right now, so just go ahead and, if you have a friends list, hit G. You can add a friend, add Battleblood if you want, and yeah, that's that. So I'll see you guys later. Peace out.